This is Gerardo Del Real here at the 2024 Beaver Creek Precious Metals Summit with the President, CEO, and largest individual shareholder at Banyan Gold, Miss Tara Christie. Tara, it's great to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is a busy conference. We've had lots of interest in Banyan. So yeah, it's always exciting to come here at great talk to shareholders and corporates.
I can't imagine the conversations that are being had. Let's get right into it. The elephant in the room, right? Victoria and all of the action surrounding the incidents and the subsequent action and the current state of affairs in the Yukon. You and I had a conversation off camera that was very enlightening to me for the simple fact that it's been quiet on multiple fronts, whether it's the government or the groups that are interested in that mine or the companies like Banyan that stand to benefit or not benefit from what comes next. And so I would love to touch on that briefly, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, well, first of all, let's talk about on Banyan. So, all the Yukon explorers have seen their share price suffer with this. There's been a lot of noise. We had, the First Nation originally asked for stopping mining and then said they support responsible mining. Right. The government has come out and said they support mining, they support valid permits. Right. They've asked for a pause on heap leach until the review is done, but they've also said very clearly they want Victoria Gold Mine back into production. They've said that publicly on several occasions, and they are talking to people who might be interested in that. So that's all very public. They've said they're supportive of mining. So I think what we're seeing in share prices is still that uncertainty. Sure. For Banyan, the other piece is people think that because Victoria Gold had a block of shares in Banyan, that's going to be dumped in the market. Well, the receiver actually has a responsibility to sell those responsibly. I've been in communication with the receiver, and so far the government has said that assets are not for sale yet. They're focusing on remediation, and the receiver has also said that to me in my direct conversations, and I've made him very aware that I have a long list of people who should be contacted should they want to sell that. And for Banyan, the sooner he does it, the better, because that overhang will go away, and we'll either have a new shareholder. But if somebody buys all of Victoria Gold, then people are waiting to buy Banyan until that block of stock comes to the market. They might be disappointed because it might never come to the market, and I think there'll be lots of people there to pick it up. So I think at $4 an ounce right now, we're in pretty unique opportunity for people to be looking at Banyan.
Let's talk about the path forward for Banyan specifically, right? It was always rumored to be a takeout target with a logical suitor, right? The dynamics of that have shifted, but I wouldn't say they've changed. I would say they've shifted, right?
They've shifted, yeah.
Can you touch on where Banyan is now with the approaches moving forward? You obviously have meeting after meeting after meeting booked here, so there's definitely still an interest. We have $2,500 gold. I think gold goes higher. You probably stand to benefit from that.
Absolutely. So we still have a 7 million ounce road accessible deposit with hydropower already on the property, cell phone service. That's a very unique asset with lots of potential for that to continue to grow. So yes, there was always two logical suitors, Victoria Gold, which had an existing 10.5% shareholding, and Hecla, immediately adjacent to it, both of which had indicated they had plans to grow and expand in the Yukon and were interested in gold. I'd say even more so now, there's an opportunity that a larger company will come in and buy Victoria Gold. And if the government's correct that they're not selling assets, that company would get that asset. And what would a combination of a Victoria and a Banyan look like? Well, one, they could put that back into production, be back producing 200,000 rough ounces per year. And there's gold on the heap leach pad. You just need to turn it back on. And that's a significant amount of money. I think somewhere in the order of $200 million worth of gold. So, somebody will want to do that. And then they could look down the road and say, Banyan 7 million ounces, that makes this a 14 million ounce camp. Could we be a 500,000 ounce producer if we put the two together? So I actually think that it's makes an even more interesting story for what a consolidation of the camp would look like. And then we have other companies around us also finding additional resources. So that's how camps are built. You get a big enough resource that you attract the major companies. So I think it's given us a whole new set of people that might be interested in Banyan and potential outcomes.
What comes next?
Well, we've been really focused. We raised that money in June on showing the economic project within it and doing our PEA, which we have to do by 2025. So drilling out what we believe is the core of that higher grade, that'd be the first 10 years of mining, finding something in the range of 2 million ounces that you would mine first at around a gram, maybe the first couple years at 1.4, 1.5. You know, we've done our modeling. Now we've got to drill test it. But that, I think, will be very compelling. We're continuing to do the metallurgy, which is super important. We think we can get a few more percent. We're focused on recovery, but also things that touch on operating cost and capital costs. So, you know, I think we've had our best technical year ever. We're very, very focused. We have a strong treasury. We have active income as well from all the services we provide. So we've already made over $1.5 million. That really makes us quite unique. We'll go into next year with around $13 million, which is more than enough for a program and our G&A, and we expect we'll get revenue next year as well. So I think it puts us in a pretty unique position that we're financed, we're focused, we have a great project. We are going to do a little bit of exploration.
You have to.
Greenfield exploration, because we have 300 square kilometers of ground. We're waiting for the results of our ZTEM survey as well as our 3D geophysical modeling that we did to help guide some of that exploration holes. And some of them will probably be next year, because you might as well use all the information you've got. These intrusion-related deposits, we haven't found the intrusion yet, or intrusions. We've got a lot of areas to look, and we're really putting together the science to help us target that. So that's part of the excitement. Meanwhile, 7 million ounces is significant for a lot of companies.
Lots of gold, cashed up. We'll be drilling, studies being undertaken, and a path forward. And maybe it's not all gloom and doom in the Yukon. Folks, thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you.